Hello, Oscar. It's Grandpa again. And, of course, your friend. Hello. Hello from Moosey. And Moosey says, hello, Oscar. Hope you're well. And wave my arms and wiggle my antlers. And anyway, Moosey, you going to sit next to me while we do a little bit of reading? Yep, I'll do that. Okay. So Moosey's going to sit over there a minute. Be a good boy, Moosey. And Grandpa says hello to you all, and so does Granny. So we hope Granny sends her love too. Hope you're both, well, both of you, you and Annabelle are well, and your mummy and daddy too, and having a nice weekend. So I said last week that I would be reading you a new story from Zoe's Rescue Zoo. And this is The Lucky Snow Leopard. So, shall we start? I hope so. Love the Christmas tree, by the way, Oscar. You were doing really well putting decorations on it. I particularly like that London bus, I have to say. And it was nice that you were helping Annabelle too. So it looks a splendid tree. And Christmas not so far away now. So, chapter 1. Christmas comes to Rescue Zoo. Ooh, it's their Christmas time. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Can you sing that, Oscar? Jingle bells, jingle all the way, sang Zoe Parker, bursting through the door and dropping her school bag on the floor. Meep, where are you? I'm home, and school's finished for Christmas. Whoa! Zoe's home was very unusual and very special. She lived in a little cottage, but it wasn't on a normal street. It was on the grounds of the Rescue Zoo, and Zoe's neighbours were the zoo animals. There was a happy squeak from the kitchen, and Zoe went to see what her best friend was up to. Meep was sitting on the kitchen table, nibbling a mini mince pie. He was a tiny grey mouse lemur with a long curly tail and huge golden eyes. Today his cheeky little face was covered in crumbs. Meep, I hope you haven't eaten all the mince pies again. Look, there's Meat eating a mince pie. You like mince pie. I know Daddy likes mince pies. You'll have to get him to make some if he hasn't made some already, Oscar. Anyway, only two, chirped, he's only eaten two, chirped Meep happily. Christmas time is fun. There are so many tasty things to eat. Zoe scooped her friend up for a hug. Come on, Meep. Mum and the zookeepers promised to wait until I was back from school before they decorate the Rescue Zoo Christmas tree. Whoa, that's exciting, Oscar. Let's go, squeaked Meep excitedly, bouncing out of Zoe's arms and scampering to the front door. Together, the two friends raced through the zoo. The gates had closed early to visitors today, so that the zoo staff could help with the decorations, and the path was empty and glittered with frost. The air was cold, and fairy lights were strung along the fences, twinkling like stars. Zoe grinned as she walked along. Everything was starting to feel very Christmassy, especially at the penguin enclosure. Whoa, you remember Pip the penguin? Just been reading about Pip, haven't we? This year the keepers have built a little ice skating rink next to the penguin's home, with a wooden hut where visitors could borrow ice skates. Whoa, you like ice skating, don't you, Oscar? Zoe peered over the fence of the enclosure and called out to the nearest penguin. Hi, Poppy. Do you know when the ice skating rink opens? The little penguin waddled up to the fence and squeaked back, flapping her wings eagerly. Oh, tomorrow, said Zoe happily. I can't wait to have a go. Poppy put her head on one side and squeaked curiously. No, I've never done it before, explained Zoe. I don't think I'll be very good, but it looks fun. Poppy waved a wing as Zoe and Meep continued along the path. Zoe couldn't help grinning as the lions roared to say hello and the flamingos squawked a friendly greeting. This was the main reason Zoe loved her home at the zoo so much. She knew a very big secret. Animals understand every word people say and can talk to them. Most people don't understand their barks, squeals and grunts, but Zoe did, didn't We know that, don't we, Oscar? She had never told anyone, though. It was a special secret between her and her animal friends. A few minutes later, Zoe and Meep stopped outside a brand new enclosure. It wasn't open yet, and the gate was still boarded up with a piece of wood. Zoe stood on her tiptoes to peep over the fence, and Meep climbed onto her head to get a better look. "Can you see anything, Meep?" asked Zoe hopefully. "It's very big, and I can see some trees and some rocks, but that's all," the little lemur chattered. Zoe sighed. "I wish we knew what it was for." There, look, there's Zoe with Meep on her head looking over into this enclosure. They can't see who's in there. Not a single person at Rescue Zoo knew what the new enclosure was for. Oh, that's exciting. A month ago, a postcard had arrived from Zoe's great-uncle Horace. In his messy handwriting, he'd asked the keepers at the zoo to build it and explained exactly what it should look like. But he hadn't said what animal would live there. Great-uncle Horace was the owner of Rescue Zoo. He was a famous explorer, and he'd started the zoo because of all the lost, injured or frightened animals he'd met on his adventures. Now Rescue Zoo was a safe home for any creature in need. Zoe's mum, Lucy, was the zoo vet, and they had lived in their little cottage at the edge of the zoo since Zoe was tiny. Great-uncle Horace still travelled around the world and brought new animals back to the zoo whenever he found them. Cool, that's exciting, isn't it, Oscar? Zoe hoped the mysterious postcard meant he'd be home soon, along with the zoo's newest member. "I wonder what the new animal might be, Meep," Zoe said, feeling a little bubble of excitement in her tummy. Imagine if Great-uncle Horace arrived home over the holidays. That would make this the best Christmas ever. "He might arrive on Christmas Eve, just like Santa Claus," chirped Meep enthusiastically. "I just hope he comes back soon," Zoe added. "I really miss him." Round the next corner was a grassy clearing where visitors had picnics in the summer. But now there was an enormous Christmas tree standing right in the middle of it. Wow! "Wow," breathed Zoe, staring up at the tree which towered above her. "It's taller than our cottage, Meep. I think that's the biggest one we've ever had." Cool, Oscar, can you imagine how tall that is? Huge. Around it, the zookeepers were unpacking boxes of Christmas decorations. Zoe's mum, Lucy, was unwinding some tinsel. "There you are, Zoe," she said, coming over to kiss her daughter's cheek. "Now we can get started." From the smiling faces around her, Zoe could tell that everyone was feeling very merry. The panda keeper, Stephanie, was walking around with a tray of mince pies, and the giraffe keeper, Frankie, was humming Christmas tunes. Can you hum Christmas tunes, Oscar? Zoe joined in with the song as she hung sparkly baubles on the tree. "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright." There we are, that's nice, isn't it, Oscar? Can you sing that one? Silent Night? I expect you can. Mummy and Daddy will show you if you don't know it. "I want to help," Meep chirped, tugging at the end of Zoe's scarf. Zoe dropped her voice to a whisper so that no one would hear her talking to Meep. "Here," she said, placing a small glittery bauble in his tiny paws. "Can you put this high up where we can't reach?" Meep nodded and scampered up the tree. He hung the bauble on a branch and chattered proudly, just as Lucy glanced up. "Look, clever Meep's helping us." There we are, look. There they all are, Zoe and her mum, decorating the tree. And there's little Meep. Can you see Meep there? Putting on a bauble on the tree too. "It's almost as if he understands what to do," added Stephanie. Zoe smiled to herself, because of course he does. Meep does understand what Zoe says. Finally, there was one decoration left. Zoe's heart sank as her mum unwrapped a shiny gold star. "Great-uncle Horace always puts the star at the top of the tree," she said sadly. "We can't do it without him." "Nonsense," snapped a voice behind her. Zoe groaned as Mr. Pinch, the horrid zoo manager, marched into the clearing. "I'll put up the star this year. I am in charge of the zoo while Mr. Higgins is away. After all, he announced importantly. Noticing all the boxes scattered around, he scowled. Although, if you ask me, Christmas makes far too much mess. All that nasty tinsel and wrapping paper everywhere. I can't wait until it's over and everything's tidy again. Ooh, nasty Mr. Pinch, isn't he? Oscar, got to get in the Christmas mood, haven't you? I know you enjoy Christmas. He tucked the gold star in his pocket and started climbing the ladder that the keepers had put next to the tree. Zoe frowned at him. Mr. Pinch was always complaining, but she couldn't believe he was even moaning about Christmas. Suddenly a flash of blue appeared in the sky. It fluttered around the tree, landing gently on the highest branch. "Kiki!" cried Zoe, her heart thumping with excitement. Look, there's Kiki the macaw. And we know who Kiki belongs to, don't we, Oscar? Can you tell me who he belongs to? Yes, that's right. Great Uncle Oscar. Great Uncle Oscar? No, I don't think it's Great Uncle Oscar, do you? It's Great Uncle Horace. Kiki was a beautiful hyacinth macaw with glossy feathers and a long curved beak. She belonged to Great Uncle Horace and went everywhere with him. So that means, began Zoe, looking around eagerly. "Hello, everyone, I'm back," called a jolly voice. Zoe and the crowd turned around and everyone gasped. The Rescue Zoo reindeers, Ronnie and Ruthie, were trotting into the clearing. They were pulling a huge sleigh behind them, which had the Rescue Zoo symbol, a colourful hot air balloon painted on one side. Tucked inside the sleigh was a large wooden crate, and perched on the front seat was a beaming man with a white beard and a red woolly hat. "I see I'm just in time to put the star on the tree. You didn't think I'd miss it, did you?" he called cheerfully. "Hooray!" cried Zoe, jumping up and down. Great Uncle Horace. Well, so that's the end of the first chapter, Oscar, and we'll be able to continue reading that next week. And there'll be more exciting stories from Zoe's Rescue Zoo, and perhaps we'll get an introduction to the lucky snow leopard. We'll have to wait and see how the story develops. Anyway, it's bye from me and bye from Moosey. You all right, Moosey? Yep. Yeah, he's waving. Say, big cuddles, he says. Big cuddles to you all. And big cuddles from Granny as well and me. And hope you're having a lovely day today. And I look forward to reading to you again soon. And big kisses for your little sister too. Bye for now, Oscar. Bye.